Dragon Village Collection has been out for 3 years. Along the way, they've released so many personalities that dragons can have, and it has been an important part of the game in keeping it interesting. This video will cover what personality is in general, and then we will talk about every personality that is considered a special personality in the wiki, and making a tier list of it. First thing to know is that personalities are these effects around your dragons, and they are also called aura. There are two main ways to get personality. One is by training them, and two is by using wound pieces. There are also personalities from events, but those don't happen often. Training dragons to get personality can only be done during their egg and hatch stage. Meanwhile, moon pieces can be used on dragons that already reach adult. You can get them from events and buying from limited time offers. I suggest you open the wiki about it if you are looking for specific moon pieces. To know the requirements of each personality, you could simply look up this page called Personality Helper or tap on this box in the retraining UI. Choose any personality you want the dragon to have and start planning out what needs to be done on the dragon. You could also use this book icon to give a note on what needs to be done on the dragon, which help a lot in tracking your progress of the personality requirements. Once you fulfill the requirements of a personality, grow them to hatchling stage to confirm what personality they get, but even when you do fulfill the requirements of a personality, it's not a guarantee that the dragon has that personality. They can get other personality instead, so what you can do when that happens is reroll the confirmed personality on the hatchling by using Lunera's and Eclipse Dragon's special action. You can reroll up to 2 times on the same dragon by using these 2 special action and hoping for the best. One last thing, you see when you grow a dragon, there is this training UI that displays the 4 stats consisting of agility, strength, focus, and intelligence. These stats don't make your dragon strong or anything, they basically serve as points that you need to get in order to fulfill requirements for certain personalities. The points on each stats are called effort value. Well, that is pretty much all you need to know about personality in general. So now, we will break down every single personality that falls under the category of what the wiki calls special personality and things that will help in getting them. I will also be making a tier list based on my personal experience with how hard it is to fulfill the requirements and how much work needed. This will take account on things that will help in fulfilling those requirements, such as items and special actions that some dragons have. Tier 1 means it's either the hardest to get or just so much work to do, while Tier 5 means you basically don't need work at all to get them. The order of each tier doesn't matter, so only pay attention to which tier each personality is placed. I would like to start with Silent and Lonely since they will be mentioned in some personalities, and then we'll go through in alphabetical order. There's not much I can explain about these 2 personalities, just don't do any training at all and don't put the dragon in the incubator. After that, just keep them happy until they are adult. Tier 5, absolutely zero work. Angry. This personality is not hard to get. The most challenging part is probably the 9 care since you can only do it up to 2 times every hour. Doing the training of so-so result for exactly 3 times will probably only need you to get back on the dragon twice, which you will do anyway since you need to do the care 9 times. I'll put it on tier 3 just because the number of care is more often once to do. Aristocratic. This personality is a lot. The most cumbersome part is that you need 2 generations of dragons to be trained for a total effort value of 100. That is 6 dragons trained to have 100 effort value. While it is not necessarily hard to fulfill, it takes a lot of time to do, and then you need to do the same thing with the dragon that you want to have this personality on. Putting this on tier 1, I have done this personality a lot of time, it's just so much work. Arrogant. To get the 200 views, you just need the view amulet and Rupiah special action on the dragon. Getting effort value to above 25 on each of them is quite a lot of work, but at least they don't have extra step like some personalities. This is tier 3. I'm sure most players don't have problem getting this personality. Benevolent. There's not much to explain about this personality. Just have 5 nurture slot, set your dragon as partner, and pick 5 dragons from the shelter. Tier 4. Can be done quickly. Brilliant. Carrying the dragon with very good or better 3 times isn't hard at all. You can even make it safe from carrying 2 times. Use the remedy item and then carry again 1 more time to fulfill the first requirement. Training focus for 5 times might take some time though, so you'll still need to get back to the dragon later. Tier 4, almost no problem getting this. Capable. Training this takes time, but the wiki has a way to get this personality on pretty much any dragon. I suggest just follow what the wiki page explained. Putting this on tier 2, it's only training, but in a specific way. Chaotic. You get this personality by using a dragon special action. The dragon is Janir, which normally you can get from breeding, but you can just buy it from Draji Market. So go get a Janir, not the chaos one, then use its special action on an egg. Remember, the special action can only target dragons in their egg stage, and then it cannot be used again. Tier 5. Raise a genre. Charming. 20 care is a lot considering you can only do it 2 times every hour. You might think you could just do the care that gives the least happiness, but there's a likely chance you accidentally bulk care the dragon. My advice on getting this is by making the dragon sick with excellent care twice and then use remedy item. Repeat this until you fulfill the requirements since getting the dragon sick allows you to care them again. Just remember that the dragon will qualify for Fearful this way. Tier 3. Quite some work needed to be done. Chatty. Set the dragon as partner, then view 30 villages and 30 player profile. You can just keep viewing the same villages and profile, there is no challenge here. How fast you can fulfill the requirements depends on whether your game client is lagging or not. Tier 4. Nothing hard about this, but a lot of tapping on your phone. Cheerful. You could care a dragon up to twice every hour, but doing this will most likely make your dragon sick. So what you might want to do is using this special action that the fairy dragon has, which prevents dragon from getting sick for 8 hours. Use that special action on the dragon and then do the care requirement 6 times in the span of 3 hours. Putting this on tier 4, it's mostly just waiting for the cooldown. Classy. There is something the community call pure generation or purebred. Pure generation 2 simply means the parents are the same species. Pure generation 3 means both their grandparents and parents are from the same species. They also do not have the same default name with one another along the lineage. Classy require the pure generation 3 while also having the effort value of the dragon on each stats 20 or above. I'd put this on tier 2. It takes time to get to pure generation 3, but at least you don't need to train their parents and grandparents like Aristocratic. Clumsy. This only requires trainings on the dragon and you don't even need the perfect result. My advice is to do focus 10 times and then do strength once to prevent your dragon getting this serious personality. Tier 4. Very easy, only need time. Curious. Not much to talk about as well here. Just set the dragon as partner and collect 3 of your daily treasure chests around the square. Additionally, do 1 training and make the dragon have at least 1 view to prevent getting lonely and silent. Tier 5. Can be fulfilled in less than 2 minutes. Cute. Where to start with this one? You can get the views by using the view amulet, then use both Rupiah's and Frozen special action. Do not use the Frozen special action first and do not put the dragon in incubator afterward. Only do so when it is about to grow into hatchling. For training, find out the starting effort value of the dragon and then add up the points until there's 99 total effort value. But do not train strength as that will completely prevent you from getting this personality. Tier 1 was once the hardest personality to get. Dawn. You only need to use the special actions from 3 dragons. I recommend using the special action of Egg Dragon for faster growth, Hannah's and Poison River because these 2 dragons only have 2 and 5 days on their cooldown respectively, putting this on tier 5. The special action can be reused again later. Distracted. I personally think this one may look hard at a glance, but actually easy when being worked on. Sometimes you can just ignore stats because they are already 15 effort value away from one another. Tier 3. It's pretty easy to do, but it could take time. Dull. This one is close to capable, but a lot easier and faster to fulfill the requirements. It's just that sometimes Dragon has an initial stat of more than 25. You will need Poison River special action on the Dragon if that's the case. I'd say it's tier 3. Easy but still takes some time. Elegant basically requires you to get 1 of each training result in all of the stats and you need to do each care specifically once. Just take note what care has been done. Remember, you can make the dragon sick to delay growth in case you need more time on the training. If you train and got the wrong result, use the train reset item. If you did a care that you've done before, use Aurelia's special action and start over with a care. Tier 2. It takes days to train and there's a lot of room to fail. Extroverted. So long you have Rupiah, you won't have any problem getting this one. It's just that sweeping 30 villages might take some time due to the game being laggy. You could simply just view the daily most popular village and then swiping to the right until the end. That should make it 30 villages viewed. Tier 4. Feels long but no struggle. Fearful. Just use the remedy items for this one. Also make sure you train it once and have it at least 1 view to prevent lonely and silent. Easily tier 5, no explanation needed. Frail. This personality basically demands your dragon to be close to their expiration date. You first need to know that dragons have 5 days of lifetime on each of their growth stage, that is 120 hours. A special action that can help you in getting this personality is from Tabir. It will pause the lifetime of a dragon by 1 day, but will still allow the total care time to progress. I'm thinking tier 2. It takes almost 9 days to get this personality and risking your dragon to expire. Fresh. Training the dragon with good result 3 times is pretty much the hardest part, and sweeping 20 villages is not hard but takes time due to the lag. That's a tier 3. It's like Extroverted but with training. Friendly. Another personality where Rupiah is a huge help. Care the dragon once and rename it. After that, just keep the dragon happiness on the green. Definitely tier 5. You probably won't even remember that you were trying to get this personality. Immerse. While the requirement is simple, it could take up to 5 days to fulfill. You might even don't have enough training sessions if you don't delay the dragon's growth to wait for the training cooldown to finish. I'm thinking this is tier 2. Not hard, but training that much means constant attention for many days. Introvert. One of the easiest. Put the dragon in the incubator and just bulk care or vitamins. My advice is to fail training once to prevent lonely. Remember, it has to be failed training, otherwise you are failing one of the requirement. Tier 5. No struggle at all. Iridescent. This one is quite interesting. Train the dragon to have number 5 at the end of their effort value while also needing each stat having effort value of 25 or more is somewhat challenging because you might accidentally get dull or capable instead. So what you want to do is train all stats to have 25 effort value except one. Train one of the stats to have 35 effort value. Also, remember to grow the dragon into hatch stage at night of server time, not your local time. Tier 2, the training aside, there's a chance that you would forget the nighttime egg hatching. Longing. I don't think the training is hard. What's harder is if you want to get longing on multiple dragons. Unlike Fresh, where you can view the same village over and over to fulfill it, you can't do the same with viewing dragons that have 1000 view. My best advice is to look around people with the most liked village. They tend to have dragons with 1000 views in their village. I still think it's a tier 3. Train is easy, finding dragons with 1000 view isn't too hard. Lousy. Use Rupiah's special action, then use Frozen special action. But do not put the dragon in the incubator. Also, train the dragon once to prevent lonely. Definitely tier 5. Can be fulfilled in less than 2 minutes. Lovely. More view related personality. Use Rupiah's special action and then use the view amulet twice on the dragon. Also, train the dragon once to prevent lonely. It's a tier 5 if you have the view amulet. Lunatic. It's very similar to Janner, except you need Hydra Dragon instead. Tier 5, all you need to raise Hydragon. Meticulous. It's not hard, but 100 total effort value usually takes about 4 days. I'd say tier 3, just because of the time it takes to get this personality. Mischievous. The training requirement isn't necessarily hard to fulfill, just need to spread out the effort value on each stat into something like 9, 19, 29, and 39 if possible. This usually takes about 2 days of training. For the view requirement, just use Rupiah's and Frozen special action. Do not put the dragon in the incubator if you did that. Also, don't forget to not make the dragon sick. Tier 3 may look intimidating at first, but actually not that hard. Neat. Similar to Classy, but without the training requirement, and you just need 2 more pure generation further. This takes 16 generation 1 of the same dragon species to get. I'd say tier 3. It's just time consuming but not much work. Noble. It's just neat with the training requirement like Classy. Tier 2. Since it still does take an extra step with around 2 days of training. Passionate. Oh boy, remember Frail? Yeah, imagine that, but you also need to do trainings. Getting effort value of each stats and with 9 is not that bad, but getting one of them to be above 50 as well is somewhat evil. Find the stat with the most effort value first, train that stat to effort value of 59 and then train the other stats to end with 9. Fulfilling the total care time requirement has a bit more room than Frail. Use Tabir if needed. Collecting 5 treasure around the square can be done after a daily reset. Just remember to set the dragon as partner before collecting the chest. This is easily tier 1, objectively the hardest personality to get and requires the most work. Perfectionist. This is somewhat of a race on time. Gaining all effort value to above 20 usually takes about 8 training sessions, which is about 2.5 days. Meanwhile, you have 3.5 days to grow the dragon to hatchling. Tier 3. Most of the time, you fulfill the training requirement before the time limit. Philosophical. Do each care once without repeat and never get sickness. Simply need to keep track what care you've done on the dragon. Fairy Dragon can help you to prevent the dragon from getting sick, and Aurelia can help if you accidentally did a care that you have already done before. Making total effort value of each stat ends with 9 could take about 1.5 day worth of training session. Tier 2. I would say it's slightly easier than Elegant. Pure. This is just classy without the training. Tier 3 only takes time to get. Reckless. Getting the dragon sick once is basically no work, just use remedy to immediately start growing again. Training the strength 5 times is easy, you can even fail the training, just don't overdo it. Tier 3 need a bit of work because of the training. Refine. Simply find the stat with the most effort value and train that stat until it is 50 total effort value or above. Also use Rupiah. Tier 3 might take 1 day of training. Relax. Just remember that dragon needs to be generation 2 and put it in the incubator. To fulfill the other 3 requirements, use Fairy Dragon special action as this will prevent the dragon from getting sick, and then care the dragon twice with the excellent care. After an hour, do the excellent care once more. Also, do training once to prevent lonely. I'd say tier 4 can be fulfilled in 2 hours. Reserve. Putting the dragon in the incubator for the duration of its growing stage will usually get you 5 to 9 views already by the time it's hatchling. Maybe just train once to prevent lonely. Tier 4 don't even need special action. Secretive. Much like the case with Chaotic and Lunatic, this personality requires either Arcane Maldek or Arcane Stra. The problem is that getting them is luck based. They are from this individual guild caring feature. What you need to do is getting the dragon to 100% in their intimacy gauge by spending guild coin, which you get daily. But if you're lucky, you might get them before reaching 100% in their intimacy gauge. Alternatively, you can also trade them with other players, but the price is quite expensive if you ask me. Tier 4, assuming you got the spare Dragem to spend. Serious. Simply train one stat only for 7 times. My pick is usually Focus as you can finish this training the fastest. Tier 4 still takes about 1 day to get this. Sociable. Not much to say about this. You can simply view the same player's profile over and over again 50 times to get this personality. Tier 4 can be done in less than 10 minutes if not for the lag. Soft. You need the Cuddle special action to be used on the dragon while it is still in egg stage. This will make the dragon can evolve in less than a day if its happiness is green most of the time. The problem is that if you don't delay the growth, you might not have enough training sessions to fulfill the training requirements. My advice is constantly train and delay the egg stage by making the dragon sick until you need 5 training sessions away from finishing the training requirement, then evolve the dragon to hatch stage. Also, make sure each training stats have different total effort value. I'd say this is tier 2, it takes about 4 days to finish this. Solitary. Getting the effort values to end with 1 is probably not hard at all, but getting exactly 1 view is actually harder than it seems. There might be a chance where 2 people viewing the dragon at the same time, which makes the view count to be more than 1 and fails the personality. But if the view count is 2, you can simply use Frozen special action. I suggest you to not put the dragon in the incubator as well. Tier 3. There is a bit of challenge to this. Somber. Another personality that requires both care and training. This one you need to do fair or lower care and get the minimum result on training 10 times. That's about 2.5 days to fulfill all requirements. Tier 3. Requires some work but nothing crazy. Sparkling. Similar to Elegant, requires doing all of the 6 cares once without repeat. Just remember to not make the dragon sick, so Fairy Dragon could help here. The training isn't too hard since the effort value difference doesn't have to be exactly 8 points, could be more than 8 points. Hatch in daytime can be done after a daily reset. Putting this on tier 2 can take up to 4 days or forget to hatch during daytime. Strategic. You can fulfill 5 trades requirement by just simply go to the Dragem market, sort by price, buy the cheapest one and then shelter it immediately. Do this 5 times. The training can be done with any result on intellect. Also maybe do one training aside intellect to prevent getting serious. This is a tier 3, quite a lot of training. Thanksful. This basically requires a generation 2, change the dragon's nickname once and then write on someone's guest book. Tier 5, not much work needed. Timid. Failing 10 training is definitely not a challenge at all. Just do agility and pick any tile. Tier 4. Not much work but still takes some time. Tired. Not much to talk about here, just do strength training 3 times and put the dragon in the incubator. I would consider this tier 5, can be done in 12 hours. Upright, also not much to talk about here. Training perfect on strength isn't hard at all, it's more about the amount of training needed. Tier 3, only need time. Wavering. This one is just full of training. I simply choose the stats that would ended up having different effort value after you fulfill the first 2 requirements. At most, you probably only need to train 2 different stats, putting this one on tier 3. Not hard, but takes time. Whimsical. Set the dragon as partner and use the item gacha in the square once. This will cost you 10 million gold by the way. And put it in the incubator. Also train it once to prevent lonely. Tier 5. Gold isn't hard to come by in this game. Wild. What you can do to get this personality easily is use bulk care, do fair care to make the dragon sick, and cure with remedy. Repeat it once more, then put it in the incubator to get views and do the train once to prevent both silent and lonely. Tier 5. Can be finished very quickly. Here is my final personal tier list about the special personalities in the game. If you want to make your own tier list, the link is in the description below. I will try to update it oftenly. And with that, all of the special personalities were broken down, which there are 59 of them, not including Jovial. I intentionally did not include Jovial since that personality is new when this video was finished, and you are meant to find the requirements yourself, or ask other players. Anyway, that's all for this video. Maybe I will make an update on the special personality tier list next year, assuming the game is still going. Thank you once again to the wiki. Hopefully the next video will take less time to make than this one. Don't forget to subscribe, like, and comment what to cover about the game. See you next time.